Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be an update of the A2A Simulations Comanche 250. So as you know, some of the issues that I had with this was number one was the tablet not activating upon restart. So currently I'm in the restarted position. So I actually flew a sortie, and now I'm coming back, reset the computer, so I'm back on the runway where I started. And let's go down and see if that works. No, it does not. So there's still an issue with the tablet after you've maybe had an accident and then restarted the mission, but you want to do something with the tablet. So you're still going to have to go out and restart the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then after I get done doing that, we're going to continue on with the other issues that I found in the airplane. Okay, everybody. So I'm back. I just got done resetting it, so I went all the way back out to the main menu, reset the flight, and now I'm going to see if the tablet works. So let's take a look at the tablet. Yep, it does. So we know that's still the fix. Is this really a big deal? Not really, because unless you have a crash or something, and then you have to make some adjustments with the tablet, it really isn't. So that's not something I would really worry about, but just know that that is a fix, and it still is an issue, even in version 1.1, which is what we have right now. So let's go ahead and find out what else they've fixed. So, of course, you know, as I mentioned in the previous video, that I'm using the Alpha yoke, the Bravo throttle quadrant, the rudder pedals from Logitech. Rudder pedals work just fine. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and start it. Now, let's see if the switches on the Alpha throttle quadrant, which would be your avionics and your master switch, let's see if they fix that and they actually coincide. Yes, they do. So now I can turn the power on and off with the switches on my yoke. So we're going to go from there. Let's go ahead and start it. Mixture in. Check my fuel tanks. Set the pump. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. Got pressure. Priming. Okay. Throttle should be 1/4 of an inch in. And let's go ahead. Okay, so the lights on my throttle quadrant, the gear down lights are on, so that checks out. So far everything seems to be working out just fine. Okay, so I turned the avionics master on with the Alpha throttle quadrant, and that works. Now, in the last video it didn't, so that's another thing that they fixed. So far so good. I'll go ahead and let these pick up the satellites here. Okay, so it looks like the airplane may be faced in the right direction. We'll have to take off and see. So we'll go ahead and advance the throttles and go ahead and take off. Okay, gears up. All right, so let's turn into and as you can see, the airplane is actually orientated correctly. So they did fix that. All right, so the next thing we're going to check is the autopilot. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this airplane out and see if the autopilot is going to pick up this line. So let's see. I'm going to put the heading bug on the current heading. So when I turn the autopilot on. Now, here's the thing. From my Bravo throttle quadrant, pressing the autopilot button does not work. If I go ahead and press any of the buttons, it doesn't work. So you must turn the autopilot on with the switch. Okay, so now it's got altitude hold. And I'm going to press heading. And it's going to turn to the heading bug, and it should. All right, so. There we go. So on your Bravo throttle quadrant, right now, as it stands, you can press one button and it will sequence. So the heading does work though. So my altitude now is 4,000 feet. I'm going to do an altitude hold. So I'm going to press altitude. And it's going to go back down to and hopefully hold the altitude. So I'm looking for it to capture the altitude. And it captures the altitude. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to this spot right here. This should track or turn the airplane into the track line. Now what this light's telling me is I need to trim down. So this airplane doesn't have electrical trim. So I got to set the trim correctly. Now let's go to... Got to set to navigation. Let's see if it turns into the navigation. It looks like it is. Go ahead and reduce my power. This thing is going to be going awful fast. There we go. Okay, so the airplane's turned into the course line. Let's see if it corrects itself onto the course line. I noticed too, considering it's a standard day, they did something about the unnecessary turbulence. So we have yet to have any unnecessary turbulence. So that's a good thing. Okay, so you have a little bit of a hunt on the autopilot, but it is, generally speaking, following the line. So not only is the airplane orientated correctly, the autopilot is also following the line, the course line. And so my tablet and my GPS on the simulator are pretty well lined up. So it seems to me that they fixed this problem. So good on A2A. So two of my major gripes are have been fixed. Okay, altitude is still holding at 4,000 feet. And course line's being held. So yeah, now this is a game changer. I'm going to turn off the autopilot and set up for landing. I'm going to land at the last airport we landed at, which was Washington Regional. The code for that is Kilo Foxtrot Yankee Golf. Gear down. White arc, first 10 degrees of flaps. Props forward. I'm a little high. There we go. And of course, it still flies wonderfully. Go ahead and clear the runway here. And we're just going to stop right here. Okay, so it seems as though A2A Simulations has fixed my major issues with the Comanche 250. So, as far as I'm concerned, with this version 1.1 update, I would still definitely buy it now. Definitely. So, I hope you enjoyed this update, and I'll see you next time. In the meantime, blue skies and tailwinds.